Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Welcome to Chicago, where the fires serve cold, but the Wolves and the Hawks never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show, Big Z.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios, this is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. This week, we have a full house, full deck. We have Stevie-B in the house.
Yo.
What up, from the No Water in the Weekend podcast. So after you've done listening to this, go and check out their new episode. And we also have Ivan Vargas from the Tape Never Lies Network. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
How's it going? Welcome.
I know, glad to be here.
Welcome to the 606 Media Studio headquarters.
Shut up, this is not the headquarters. Studio number 2.
Oh, God.
Well, glad to have you both on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun for our listeners. Get ready for a wild ride. We are going to get into it. This is episode 153. It is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official TCSF shirts now. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show. And if it's your first time or you're a long-time listener, please remember, hit that subscribe button.
Smash.
That's right. And notify button. And go ahead and give us a review. Please give us 5 stars. That's the only one we can get.
5 stars.
5 stars. We got to shoot up the charts. On your listening app of choice, you can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. You can find us on IG at True Chicago Sports Fans, at 606 Media Group, at Big Z _ 606 Media Group. What's your social?
It's No Water on the Weekend, but weekend is spelled WKND.
Mm-hmm.
And then Straight Function is my regular one. Just having outfits looking straightforward and always functional. But I don't really do fashion anymore. So plus the time we live in, Straight Function, it sounds kind of canceling now. So I might have to change that.
Ivan, what's your socials, man, so they can find you?
Yeah, it's at TTNL or at Ivan V _ TTNL on, was it Twitter or X now? What's going on with that?
I think it's still Twitter.
It's still Twitter for now.
I looked at my app, and it's still Twitter. There is a Simpsons episode that shows it's an iPhone, and at the bottom it has the exact same logo.
Okay, I gotta watch it.
I'll bring it up to you guys.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
I don't believe in those conspiracy theories.
During the break, I'll show you guys.
I'm gonna have to look it up. But again, that's my Twitter or X or whatever it's going by now. And then I have Instagram and everything else, but I forgot all those little handles. So you guys could go look me up. Just type in Ivan Vargas. You'll see me. I got an orange shirt and a backwards hat, usually all the time. So.
Yeah, you showed it to me.
Yeah.
Yesterday. All right, don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go on over there and click on support, and you can subscribe as low as 99 cents a month. What I'm going to try to do is find things that are 99 cents.
You can't find anything that's 99 cents anymore.
I could give you 99 cents.
I would definitely take 99 cents. Give me all your pennies, bro. Give me all those pennies.
Do you like the show?
I sure do.
Are you a fan?
Hell yeah.
Well, tell your friends, and they'll tell their friends, and we'll all be best friends. If you enjoy the content, if we make you laugh or cry or yell or think of anything important, please share with others so we could share it and all be friends too.
That's right. That's right, man.
What up, Z? How was your week?
Jam-packed. It's been packed. It's just doing a lot of shit.
It's been busy.
Yeah, well, applying for jobs, that takes a long time.
Well, yeah, so if you apply to 20, you're going to hear back from 6.
If that.
That's a study, right?
It's so
depending
bad.
on what the job is.
Yeah, well, teaching jobs are very scarce right now, so.
Really?
Yeah.
I was a little sarcastic.
I know.
I figured.
Well, last Tuesday, and I talked about it on your show on Friday.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I almost bowled a perfect game.
That's true.
That's amazing.
9 strikes in a row. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. I'm impressed myself because the week before I bowled a 66.
And that's called a comeback.
So I bowled a 269, and I missed. It was a bad break. I had 2 pins, and then I missed the second throw. So I was like, I didn't give a fuck at that point.
The pressure got to him.
The pressure. Right. Well, everybody stopped bowling.
Well, I mean, everybody's watching you.
Yeah, I would.
Especially for a feat. Look, I'm not a bowler, but I understand what a 300 game, like bowling 300 game means.
That's pitching a perfect game.
Exactly. That's something you stop and you watch. You stop and you watch that. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. There's a lot of pressure coming.
But it always fucks up the person that's bowling because you're so used to the noise. You're so used to the ambiance. You're like, okay, I'm just zoned in. You still have your peripherals. But there was no one bowling, no sounds.
Yeah, but you like WWE, so you want the crowd cheering for you, and they probably were.
They weren't. It was dead silent. You can drop a pin.
Well, you should have made it like an entertainment, like raise your hands
got
up,
Happy
like
Gilmore with that shit.
Well, next time I'm in that situation, I will turn around. I'll reset. I'm like, no, I need some fucking noise. Come on, come up with it.
Yeah.
But
stroke my ego.
Yeah, exactly. I missed the 600 series by 2 pins, which is a really good series if you're not a bowling fan. But yeah, definitely crumbled under the pressure. And the thing is that everybody was just talking to me like nothing. They were not talking bowling to me. They were just talking like sports and other shit just to keep my mind off it. And I didn't even notice they were doing it. I was just there, just hanging out.
Right.
And at some point I noticed I had like 4 or 5 in a row. And
you got a ham bone.
Right.
Sure.
At that point I'm okay. I'm in the zone. But I didn't think I would ever get to 9 strikes in a row. But
I wouldn't think you'd get 9 strikes in a row either.
I couldn't even imagine. Like I said, I told you before, I'm a terrible bowler. So it's like you might as well put up the guards for me. So like I'm trying to live vicariously through you right now. Like I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
No, it was a really good time. I got a bunch of hugs and high fives and stuff like that. Even though I fucked up at the end.
What about any kisses on the cheek?
No. We're not. No Italians on my team.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Also, this past Thursday, I was over at Mitchell's Tap for the WhiteSox pregame with Chuck, Garfine, and Ozzie Guillen. So
that was cute.
That was cute. I was on TV. I got to ask Chuck a question. I asked him, why is he so salty? And he cracked up. And then, in the middle of the show, he turned around and started addressing me, and so did Ozzie, which is really, really cool. You
felt like his best friend, didn't you?
Well, Chuck's been on the show. And he remembered that he's been on the show. Ozzie was supposed to be on my show, but that was the morning of Tony La Russa getting hired. So then his son is like, he's not doing any press. Sorry, bro. And I was like, well, fuck it. You come on then. You talk shit all the time. You can't shut up sometimes. Let's go, Junior. And yeah, he gave me like 2 hours worth of content. So
does he talk as fast as his father?
Oh yeah. He could keep up.
He's very quick-witted. He's very knowledgeable.
I've never seen his son.
Sometimes it's hard to corral him, because he can go into a tangent and just go on a spaceship and just
I'll say it's great baseball knowledge.
Yes,
like he does go off on a tangent, but it's you want to listen, but sometimes you have to be like, all right, time out, Oz. Like especially if you're running a podcast, you're gonna be like, time out, Oz. We got a break.
Yeah, I think that episode was 3 hours. I had to split it in 2. His interview into 2 halves because it was a lot.
Now, when he calls his dad to say, "Hey, my papi," or what does he say?
I don't even remember.
It's probably papi.
Probably. I mean, I would imagine.
Oh, we'll ask him later.
But I just want to say, you had the biggest smile. We talked about this on the Weekend, and I was so proud of you. But you were like a little boy in a candy
store.
And
I plugged the show on TV.
I know,
and I got away with it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's reporting right there. That's grade A reporting right there.
That's right. So it was a fun time. He signed a bobblehead for me and my jersey.
Of course, you're gonna bring stuff with you. Did you carry a backpack with all the stuff that you were gonna have him sign?
Yeah, I usually. You've never seen me at WhiteSox Fest. I literally have.
They don't have WhiteSox Fest.
They didn't have it last year, but when they do, I literally have a mailman bag, a book bag,
a satchel.
No, it's a mailman bag.
That's what it is.
A satchel smaller.
A satchel's Indiana Jones bag.
Right, it's small. A mailman bag is the big one.
Oh, I would have just brought a backpack. But anyway, get out.
Anyways,
Go ahead.
I had both those bags, and then I bring my cooler with a handle of Jack Daniels and a 12-pack of beer in it.
You could drink in the pavilion?
This is when they used to have it at the Palmer Hotel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So Cubs is at the Marriott, I believe, right on Michigan Avenue. I think it's the Marriott. So that's where I learned it, because one of my cousins, she's like, hey, I can't go on Sunday. Do you want to go to Cubs Fest? And I was like, is Ryan Sandberg going to be there? She's like, yeah, he is. I'm like, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, as a White Sox fan who grew up watching Ryan Sandberg as my favorite player. Mm-hmm. Of course I'm going to go. And then I'm watching and people watching, like, oh shit, everybody's got a cooler and, just walking around with beer and shit. I'm like, great idea. So then I signed up for Sockfest. I'm like, I'm doing this. And no one was doing that.
And everyone, were you selling beers?
No.
I would have started selling people beers.
Dude, it's a 3-day weekend.
Inside, selling beer.
And, it was 3 guys. So, like, we all just, like, literally 6 a.m. in line chugging.
Jeez.
We was drinking. We slept for like 2 hours. And then, yeah, I didn't tell you this, but we partied with Alexi Ramirez. He likes Black Label. And we bought a bottle of Black Label, got his ass super drunk. His signing was at 8 o'clock in the morning. He didn't get to till 8:42. And I was first in line. See, he's walking up to the stage. I'm like, what's up, Black Label? He's got the glasses on. He's shaking his head. I'm like, oh, no, you wanted to party last night. This is how we party, bro.
I'm really shocked that you were still up.
This is, 8-10 years ago? So, yeah.
Oh, you had the energy.
Energy, yeah. I was your age.
Yeah, you were.
So, yeah, tons of energy. Yeah. Lastly, before we transition to you guys, yesterday was the 50th anniversary of Tecatitlan restaurant, Mexican restaurant that originated on Chicago Avenue. I've been going there since I was a baby, and they had their 50-year anniversary, and we went over there.
Yes, we did.
Me and Steve went over there, and we had some tacos and some margaritas and some beers.
Yeah.
And it was mariachi. It was a good time.
They didn't play
No, you wanted.
Poco Loco.
Well, you didn't request it.
I was scared to ask.
Why? You have a mouth. You're
I
on a
do.
fucking podcast, bro.
Yes, I do. But the cartel that was at the corner over there in the thing, they're like, look at this guy asking for Poco Loco from.
They probably would have sang with you, bro.
I don't know.
You know those guys are softies in the heart.
To their moms.
All right, Steven, how was your week? And then we'll talk to Ivan because, he's a guest.
Yeah. So pretty much we did that on Sunday. Friday we did the show. Saturday I woke up tired as hell because I was up till, 3, 4 o'clock, something like that.
Too much porn?
A lot of porn. All over the spectrum between getting my nuts squished by a heel to you have a mom and daughter. I don't know. It was all over the place, all over the spectrum. Some Fortnite too, and then a TV show that I'm going to explain what I was watching yesterday.
Oh, we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later. Yeah. But other than that, that's been pretty much it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go see. I had a chance to go see Oppenheimer today.
You did?
But I had so much to do today, and it just didn't happen, so it's just fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ivan, how was your week?
It was actually pretty good, man. I'm exhausted right now just because the weekend kicked my ass. Like a lot of softball. I play softball on the weekends.
Yeah, I'm retired.
So yeah, well, then you understand.
Oh, I know exactly.
So like, it was just battling the sun, playing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had fun, but I'm
that
hurting.
sun drains you.
I'm hurting right now.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I went to the Cubs game, got my first foul ball.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So I was happy about that. It was pretty exciting. I mean, I was just like you. As soon as you got on NBC Sports, I was a kid in a candy store. I was hands up, pumping. I was talking to my brother. Some guy, actually, there was a nice dude that he actually got it on video. He came down and we airdropped it to us. So I was I was appreciative of that. So, it was pretty good. It was an exciting time. Other than that, man, just trying to deal with the kids, cleaning up mess after mess after mess.
How many kids you got?
Yeah, how many
2.
kids? 2?
2 tornadoes. So
boy and a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, then you're done.
Girl and a boy. So I mean,
It's
her first, then him. So I'm done. Either way, either way, it's over. No,
Yeah,
snip.
too many now.
I'll just
You stand next to the X-ray for
if
30 minutes.
if it happens,
You say go by the microwave.
I'll say I'm done. But if it whatever.
Okay. All right.
More power to you.
Most people just say, I want a boy and a girl and I'm done. But if you want to, be like Matthew, is it Matthew Stafford with the 19 kids?
No, that's Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers, yeah.
Philip Rivers, Antonio Cromartie.
Yeah. Sean Kemp.
I mean, if you know what? They might be part Hispanic because of how many kids they have. So
That's true.
You never know.
Like, how do you take your kids to something? Like, bring in what is
4 nannies, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you got to bring in like one of those the traveling buses for the teams, the team bus. That's what you got to get.
And then all the snacks you got to get.
Oh, why do you think he hasn't retired?
Snacks are just. What was that?
What was that?
I think that was Ethan.
Who's Ethan?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
All right, sorry about that. I had to step away. But in this episode, we will catch up with our Chicago teams and we'll talk Crosstown this week. Yes, probably the only one of the most heated rivals in baseball. We will talk about our top 5 Crosstown memories, Bulls rumors, concerning Bears news, and much more with Sir in the Pot and what you're looking at. But first, the Big 3 with Big Z. That was a tongue twister.
Oh, yeah.
I can't read.
I see that. I'm gonna have to do these things too.
No, I could do it.
All
I
right,
promise. I'll
all
get
right,
better.
all right. I'm Big Z, and you fuckers are not.
I'm definitely not. I would have aced it if I was you.
All right, for today's story, we're starting with story number 1. Y'all seen the movie Final Destination, right?
I have.
Y'all seen that movie, that scene with they're driving and there's a fucking tractor trailer with a bunch of logs?
Yeah, of course.
Logs or pipes?
Logs. It's logs, right?
Oh,
I believe it was logs.
Yeah, it was logs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it actually did happen.
I mean, the 8th Final Destination might have had the pipes, but
Yeah.
that was just
yeah. There's like 5 or 6 more, I think.
Oh,
But the
God.
first
It's
one I
just
think
like
was
Faces
the
of
logs.
Death.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
tons of ways for you to die. A fatal car crash with a log truck. Lumber falls on the car. So it actually came to fruition.
Yeah, that's scary.
A woman in Florida suffered a horrific death after a car collided with a log truck, causing the contents to tumble onto her vehicle. A terrifying ordeal that's easily familiar to Final Destination. 25-year-old woman was driving her SUV on SR20 around 12:45 a.m. and the incident went down. According to Florida Highway Patrol, she was in the outside lane behind the semi-truck that was hauling logs, but allegedly wasn't keeping a safe distance. So I'm guessing she tapped the truck and something happened.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would be that close to
No,
a semi.
no.
Like,
Any semi.
Yeah, I'm
go
on the
ahead,
other
bro.
lane.
Go ahead.
give them either the other lane or you give them the distance.
Oh,
like
100%.
you
I don't
can't
fuck with
play
them.
with that.
No,
but
no.
Some people do, man. Some people think
Plus
that
she's
they're the best
25.
drivers. Well, 25, right? She's probably not thinking.
Yeah, it looks like she hit the truck and caused the lumber to fall onto her car. She was rushed to a nearby hospital. She was pronounced dead. So,
Oh.
yeah, she died immediately. I mean, those logs are fucking like hundreds of pounds easily.
Yeah, that is true. In Fortnite, you could shoot the log down and it'll roll on
Oh
you,
my
so.
God, you and your damn Fortnite.
Oh, if only she could have just shot the logs.
All right,
Or jumped out of the car.
whatever
before.
blaster she had in her arsenal, right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right, story number 2, and I know you guys seen the movie Beetlejuice, right?
Beetlejuice.
Well, obviously it's
I'm
I
not
thought,
saying
she,
it
I
a
thought she
third
got
time.
voted out. Oh, my bad.
the movie Beetlejuice is in production. Obviously, it stopped because of the writer strike.
Actor strike too.
Yeah, actor strike as well. But it looks like the set that's in, I think it's in Connecticut, people are going to the set and stealing stuff from the set. So they stole this thing. I know you guys can see it here. It's like a piece of art that looks like it's grabbing. It was in the first movie. So they stole this. It's a 150-pound sculpture.
Two people could carry
it's
one
It
of
looks
those.
it looks like a bunch of finger. Like I
Yeah.
think people that are fans of the original movie would understand. It's like
Yeah.
it's a bunch of fingers. Like it looks like it's gonna grab you.
Right. I think that there's a clip of it of grabbing whoever the actress is. I can't forget her name. But yeah,
Gina Davis.
Is that Gina? Yeah, that's Gina Davis. If you watch it back, you are astonished at how many good actors are in that movie.
Yeah, I saw it again recently
Did you?
in Halloween.
Oh, okay. That's recent. Yeah. So people are stealing stuff from sets. They stole a bunch of stuff, from inside the house and outside.
I mean, if it was a Marvel thing, I'd steal it for sure. I'm sorry.
It's just got to be the right prop for Steven.
Yeah.
I know it would be. It would Captain America's shield.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, that'd be the first thing I'd look. But it
Like
depends on
Thanos, give me the glove.
Yeah, that's true too. But the first thing I'd go into wardrobe. That's where I'm going first.
Okay.
If it's a female cast. Just kidding. I'm
I mean,
kidding.
Whatever floats your boat, Steven. Love is love, man. Do what you got to do.
I got Scarlett Johansson's jacket. Sweet.
Yeah.
Selling that one to another perv.
You know your market very well, sir.
Just gotta go on Reddit. There you go.
I don't even use Reddit.
I don't either, but
Right.
I'll figure it out.
Story number 3. Wildlife officials are trying to capture a surfboard stealing otter. Have you seen this story?
I have not. Can you tell me more?
I sure can. Wildlife officials in California said they're attempting to capture and rehome a sea otter that's been embarked on an unusual crime spree, stealing surfboards. So it's a 5-year-old female known as Otter 841. So I'm guessing it's tagged, and it's stealing surfboards. So pretty much it'll jump on someone's surfboard as they're surfing and knock them out and take the surfboard.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty gangster.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but I would honestly say like I just got
How much is
jumped
a
by an otter.
surfboard? I mean, surfboards are pretty expensive, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
like $200-300
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Maybe more.
Probably
I mean,
more. Probably
maybe,
more.
Maybe more. So depending on like how the
Quality,
yeah, right.
brand, and all that.
But also, don't you attach it to your foot?
That is
But
true.
but it is, yeah. But it's kind of a breakaway, isn't it? It's kind of like Velcro or something.
No, I thought it was supposed to like
stay on so you can find it?
tethered to you, so it doesn't like leave you.
Right. And then if you need to get back on, so I don't know, maybe the otter bites it off and then
Did they
steals
like?
it.
Is it like on shore? Are they like setting them to the side, and it's just like, oh, mine now.
He's like Steven in wardrobe.
I just got robbed by an otter.
Yeah, they say they can't find it. They keeps evading the people.
But what is it like it's the ocean, right?
Yeah, it's the ocean. I mean,
I've never seen
So
an
many
otter in the
questions.
ocean.
I mean, I can see if I can play the video, but
There's a lot of sharks out there, so I'm
West Cliff Drive is a picture-perfect site in Santa Cruz, the backdrop of many social media posts. But those picturesque images are being overshadowed by the surfing sea otter captured in June by native Santa Cruz.
Oh, he's actually
photographer
on
Mark
the
Woodward.
thing.
Since then, in the past 5 days now, there's been 3 more incidents of it, and they've all been much more aggressive. I have
Much more
photographed a lot of
aggressive.
otters over the years.
What a perv.
I
Photographs
have never
otters.
seen anything like this.
Warnings now on full display along the coastline, alerting visitors of the aggressive sea otter. We captured some otters resting, but could not tell if any of these is the one with the
Oh, it's
blue
a
tag
gang.
from the viral images. Through his lens, Woodward has seen the female
Yeah,
otter
this is a
approach many
network.
surfers and kayakers at the popular location.
It was a true wrestling match over this surfboard, and the person finally got it away.
Holy shit.
And it was damaged. And basically, the board was destroyed. Literally, the day before that I filmed, the surfer was so freaked out by it that he left his board and swam back to shore without it.
Behavior that the California Department of Fish and Wildlife calls concerning and unusual. CDFW says this 5-year-old female southern sea otter also exhibited unusual behavior in the Santa Cruz area back in September 2022.
Otter just took Bart's board.
But nothing else until recently.
They're actually pretty aggressive animals. They're not the cute and cuddly as people tend to think.
SJSU's Moss
You watch
Landing
too many
Marine
Marvel movies,
Laboratories
sir.
professor David Ebert is surprised to
watch
learn
Animal
about the
Planet.
way this otter is acting. The CDFW says it may be due to hormonal surges or because humans have
Always
fed her.
comes down
Ebert
to
says
that.
human interaction can have
The
adverse
main thing.
I don't know. Mother Nature's fighting back.
It is. With
Because
the
you
orcas.
got the orcas, and then recently they're off the coast of Florida. The sharks.
Right. And in New York on the borders.
Oh, the sharks have been consuming cocaine that's been in the
That's
water.
right. I forgot about that story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to Florida.
Let's go
I'll, I'll
let's just go
drop you
swimming.
off with
Okay,
the sharks.
drop me off. I'll rent out the boats and I'll come back a hero. Okay. Not because I'm killing the sharks. I'm just taking their stash. That's all I'm doing. I don't know. I thought otters were
Mother
really
Nature's
cute.
not fucking around anymore,
Honestly,
man.
I thought otters were cute too. I was under the impression that otters weren't aggressive like that.
Me
But those
either.
are big chunks that were taken out of that surfboard.
They probably got
Sure.
some cocaine on it.
Is it a
Cocaine
cocaine
otters.
otter? Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be this one aggressive Australian guy who goes, I live in Australia and I could fight an otter. And he's got a knife in his leg, so he could just fight back.
Your imagination is so wild.
I'm an only child, so, you got to be able to keep yourself entertained. Especially when you're at work and you're at your desk and you got 8 hours to do something.
That makes a lot of sense.
A lot of sense.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's news to me. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Hey, Big Z here. Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it everywhere, and even earn money all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or your computer. So no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you take the conversations to the next level with your fans, you have Q&As, polls, and the best way to get them talking is to have fan participation. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, it's free. There's no catch. Ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I've been using it. I have not switched platforms. I feel like having options like video and Q&A polls lets me be creative to another level. I highly recommend you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Do it now. Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z, and in studio with us is Stevie-B and Ivan Vargas.
Yes. Let's shed some light on Ivan. I'm always here the last 8 episodes, so it's the Ivan show today.
It is the Ivan show. All right, guys. This is The Loop, our Chicago Sports Roundup, where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
All right, so Ivan's no rookie here, so he handles his own when it comes to the Chicago Bears. So I'm just going to kick it off to him, man. What's going on with the Bears?
Well, I mean, so far so good. Nothing's happened so far, so it's not. You can't really say
Bears
what's
season
going
starts in
on.
what, like 3 days?
Yeah, it's about 3 days training camp.
Yeah.
In 3 days, I think the 28th is the first day of training camp. Or I think, no, actually, excuse me. I think they already started. They're already there, but I think the fans are able to go ahead and go on the 28th. And
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, with the Bears, just had a signing today. They just signed somebody off the. You were actually telling me this. I didn't know it until right now.
Yeah.
They actually had a signing today, but more importantly, what's going on with Chase Claypool? I want to get into that because you had a guy that had all the potential coming out of Notre Dame when he first came in, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I was thinking, hey, you had Ben Roethlisberger, he was aging. You had, some decent receivers there in Pittsburgh. Maybe this guy would be able to go ahead and start building rapport and building, a name for himself. But it just never really came to fruition. And going into last season, I trust Ryan Pace, but he makes this trade. We give up our second round pick, which ended up being the first pick of the second round. You can't. I mean, that's all retrospect. Like that's all hindsight.
Yeah, you didn't know you were going to end up getting one more pick.
But for a guy, and going back to Chase Claypool, you've been cast off by your original team. They didn't want you. They were willing to. A second round pick. Bye. Yes, sir. Give me that. I'll take that. Bye. You didn't really do anything when you got here.
What do you have, like 14 catches or
something like that?
Yeah.
You got hurt. And then, you would expect a young guy who's been down on his, hasn't had a good start to his with his new team, hasn't really shown the potential that once flashed. You would think he'd be hungry enough to go ahead and put the work in the offseason, a critical offseason, not only for him, but for the Chicago Bears that have him under contract. Like, they're looking to build right now. They're looking for Justin Fields to take another step, and they were looking for him to be a big part of that. It doesn't look like his head is in football.
No.
It looks like he wants to do something post-football, and he's already there. He's a young man, but he looks like he has a lot of distractions in his life. And he just got put on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, and it's not because he's injured. It's because he's out of shape.
Yeah, because he's been at practice, but he didn't rehab when he rehab. He wasn't getting into football shape. He was just like, I want my body to be okay so I can clear the physical, so I can get paid.
Exactly. So now you have a guy who's just playing the system, doesn't seem to be interested in playing football, doesn't seem to be, willing to willing to sacrifice the time and put in the effort to go ahead and be the best player he could be, you need to go ahead and make a statement, and that was a statement. It wasn't just, hey, we're looking out for you, we don't want you to get hurt. No, you're not able to keep up with what we want. You're going to be put on the PUP list. You're not going to be playing football until you're ready.
And they made a corresponding move by signing somebody from the Indianapolis Colts practice squad.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and take a chance on somebody else. To me, I like the direction the Bears are going, even though Ryan Pace made a mistake. It looks like he made a mistake. Maybe we're proven wrong, and Chase Claypool turns a corner this season, but I just don't see it. I don't see it, and I'd rather it be a Band-Aid right off.
Yeah, rip it off right now.
Than going ahead and trying to correct the mistake.
Right. And then where is he going to play? Because essentially he'd be the number 3. But, they got a lot of wide receivers right now, and they are hungry.
Yeah.
They want that 3 spot.
Yeah.
Because you also have 2 tight ends that are going to take up some receptions. So even the number 3 guy's not going to get a lot of receptions.
Right. No,
you're not. None of those guys are a Tom Waddle that's going to sit over the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that type of player.
And then even you see Fields, Moore, and Mooney all practicing together.
Yeah, they were in Florida together,
and they're building a connection, chemistry, how they run, who they are, building the team development, and you don't see that from him.
No.
And they're even hanging out. They're at a Bulls game one time, and building this connection.
You thought that that was a great point. Like, you saw that. I was under the impression, all right, next step is take your asses down to Florida or somewhere where it's hot and start working.
Right.
Start building a little rapport. I know you have a life and you got to do, outside of football, you can't really just go down there and be down there for 6 months. But maybe a month.
Yeah.
Maybe right before training camp. Maybe that time between OTAs and training camp, which is
40 days.
Coming to an end.
Right. 40 days.
40 days. You could be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the love of the game out of Chase Claypool. I just don't think he wants to play football anymore. I think his mind is on some other things. And if you're
AJ
not,
Brown.
Pretty well. Maybe not as bad. Maybe not as bad, but definitely is distracted.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of players now get easily distracted, and then once they get paid,
they get paid up front. Most of these players are getting paid up front, and it's a catch-22, right?
Right.
You want these guys getting paid for sacrificing their body, and your job is literally to work out.
Right.
Playing football is the fun and easy thing. I think working out, staying in shape, taking care of your body. Excuse me, that you're over here I got clipped, I got upended, whatever, or the linemen. Those fuckers take a beating. They're car crashes every time they line up. Those guys don't get paid enough.
Yeah.
Those wide receivers are those skill position where they do certain things. They run a route, whatever. These guys don't even block anymore.
And that's another thing. Chase Claypool, being the big body receiver that he is, you're gonna be blocking, especially with the way the Bears want to play football. They want to run the football. They want to get off the edges, off tackle. They need that.
Quick.
They need their receivers to be able to block. Mooney does a good job. I haven't seen a lot of DJ Moore's blocking, but if you put a Chase Claypool in there, that you're 6'3", you're the big guy. You're the go get it guy, but you're also the guy that needs to be locking down a cornerback when we have an outside run in order to spring somebody. You need to be able to trust him to do that.
Right.
And it's all about conditioning during the offseason. He wasn't doing it, and Eberflus ain't having it. Ryan Pace ain't having it. They're not
No, that's how an organization should work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They almost did it to Jalen Johnson. I believe it was last year. Yeah, last year. He came into training camp with a different mentality than they wanted him to have, and
he thought it was hot shit.
Yeah, and he almost got put in the same position. Almost got put in the same position. That changed in a week, and he even reiterated it. I forget the exact words, but he pretty much said, "Hey, it's a real deal." It was like I wasn't in the right mindset. I'm in the right mindset now. You got to be ready to work, and if you're not ready to work, get the hell off the field. You're not going to be on the field.
A lot of these guys, once they get their money, they don't realize that they're only getting paid during the football season. Once football season is over, you no longer get any paychecks. Also, you have to pay taxes on every single state that you work in. So every away game, now you get a tax form from that state.
Oh, that's annoying.
You know, I'm serious, and I know that because when I was in banking, I would have David Terrell, Bobby Wade. I would have a bunch of the football players like Zuma would come by, and they'd call me like, "Hey Z, I need to take out $8,000." I'm like, David, it's fucking Tuesday. He's like, yeah, I'm getting off practice. I'll be there in an hour.
Banks don't carry that amount of money.
Well, we do $8,000. I mean, but I had to like finagle it, like get it cleared by the manager. But David, what the fuck do you need $8,000 for? He pulls up and with what's her face, Kelly Rowland, in his truck. He's like, come outside. I'm like, I'm not walking out there with $8,000. You have to come in for that. He's like, no, come outside. Rolls down the window. Fucking Kelly Rowland. He's like, oh, say hi to Kelly. I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I totally had blanked out who the fuck she was. Now she's the part owner of the fucking Chicago Sky.
Right.
And then Beyonce's dad, and now Dwayne Wade. And it's a big group of people that own it now. But what the fuck do you need $8,000 on a Tuesday for?
Oh, you know what he needs $8,000 on a Tuesday for.
He's paying her $8,000.
Strippers.
And blow.
Probably blow. I can imagine. David Troy, I could see him
He was a
doing.
knucklehead.
Yeah, I could see him do.
That's a lot of cocaine. For $8,000?
Well, I mean, it probably would have bought. I would say $2,000 went to color. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
Well, you
two.
figure-
Maybe like spread out his money that way.
Yeah, you figure they're gonna spend money on bottles, dinner, then go to a club, get bottles. There's gonna be cocaine, and then you're looking at strippers afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's hell of a life.
Yeah, and that's why he's broke now.
Yeah, but,
that's
I mean, look, I could see it. Like when they're on top,
Yeah.
like a burning flame.
And that flame does burn out eventually.
Oh,
if you're
quick.
not taking care of it and feeding it and making sure it shines bright, well, hey.
It's gonna
that's
go.
for sure.
Guess who's not with Kelly Rowland, right?
He like calls her, Kelly, take me back.
She's like, hell no. She made her money. She gave residuals.
There you go.
Hey, Steven, let's transition to the hardwood and let's talk Chicago Bulls. What do you got for us?
All right, so the Chicago Bulls have re-signed restricted free agent shooting guard Ayo DeSumo to a 3-year. Ayo. I think that's pretty cool. The 3 years, $21 million contract after the 23-year-old emerged as a key player for the injured franchise player who we know who was injured. Who we filled in for.
Lonzo Ball.
There you go. So he was helping out the season the last 2 seasons. So
all right, let's talk Chicago Bulls because this team is probably as disappointing as my Chicago White Sox.
Same family owners too. So
yeah, I know, but this team is running the back with an old team.
It's year 3, right?
You've got no outside shooting. You've got no defensive stoppers. Your bench is super weak. They don't use Vooch the way they're supposed to use. They use him for the first 5 minutes of the game and then forget about him the rest of the night. Zach and DeMar cannot play together. There's 2 different styles of basketball. I don't know what to expect of this team besides being another 500 team because I know some of these guys are going to get hurt and we're back to square one.
Dude, I'm so confused with the Bulls. Like, trust me, like everything that you're saying, like I hear you. I'm just like every other Chicago Bulls fan out there. What the fuck is going on? And it just
they're always in a position. But they're always in the same position of we can't get the big guy, so we're gonna get a bunch of small guys, and they're way past their prime.
Yeah, it's a Carlos Boozer all the time. There's a bunch of Carlos Boozer signings for the past 10 years. It's like this isn't going to do it.
I actually had his jersey.
You did?
I did.
Did you paint your hair with shoe polish?
Hey, for a few years.
Yeah.
For a few years,
My
I was
mustache.
You paint your hair?
My mustache.
If you look at his numbers, he had great numbers.
For the first few years, Carlos was okay, but then after that, it was never, like you said, it was never. Joe. Yeah, it was never the dude. Yeah, get that, Joe. It was never the dude. He was never the dude, and it was never meant to be.
But the hype was there, but then it wasn't after you're going to the Eastern Conference Finals and losing.
All Derek. I mean,
yeah.
Well, not. I wouldn't say all Derek. That was a good. They were a good team.
They were a good team. That had
but
outside
Derek
shooting,
was definitely carrying that team.
Yeah.
With the Bulls, it's just like the White Sox. And I know we're gonna get to the Sox, later, but just go ahead and clean house. Like I'm to the point where it's like Zach needs to go.
Well, there's rumors that New York wants him.
Right.
But the Bulls want a king's ransom for him because he did sign a supermax.
Right.
That was another mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I never thought, I thought Zach LaVine for the first couple of years, I thought I was like, all right, cool, I think this guy could be a leader.
Yeah.
Just never took another step.
No.
You know what I mean? He finally got to the All-Star game, and I was like, okay, this is where you take a step, Zach. And it's just, he never took another step.
He's on Team USA.
Yeah, not on Team, it's just.
He played good right after Team USA at the beginning of the season, and then just, I don't know what happened to him.
Like I said, he just disappears. He shrinks when the spotlight's on. He shrinks. And DeMar seems to rise. So that's why DeMar has been getting the favorable matchup. He's been given the ball a lot more.
Yeah,
the
he's a
ball's
closer.
been put in his hands a lot more. And it just, with Zach LaVine, like, let's just move forward. Let's move on from Zach. Let's move on from DeMar. If you want to keep Vooch, fine. But you're going to have to figure something out because you can't just march these guys out here for the next 2 to 3 years and be like, hey, we're going to do it this year, guys, because you're not.
We're not. And then you don't have development. And with the Chicago Bulls have not developed anybody. Look at what we talked about on an earlier episode, Larry Marketing. They didn't know how to use him. He ends up being traded to Cleveland. They don't know what the hell to do with him. He feels out of whack. He's from a different country. He's in a different city now, doesn't understand it. He finally gets acclimated in Utah, and he's a fucking all-star just dominating. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. I mean, he's killing it. Same thing with Bobby Portis. Leaves the Bulls, 6th man of the year. I mean, gets a championship.
Oh, I get it. But the thing is how I look at those three. If you have Vooch, DeMar, and LaVine, LaVine likes shooting the 3. Okay, keep him on the 3rd.
Streaky.
Right.
Very streaky.
Right. When he's hot, he's hot. DeMar shoots it right where you're going to shoot the free throw in the post. Well, and then if you want to shoot, if he doesn't go in the post all the time, throw it into Vooch.
He's a mid-range
You just
king,
throw it straight down the line. 1, 2, 3. If one's not open for the 3, throw it to DeMar. DeMar's not open, throw it in the paint for all that.
Here's the issue with that. No one fucking rebounds on this team.
No, that's
as soon as they shoot, they just run back.
Right.
No one is rebounding.
I would once the season starts, we should start betting that they're going to get under, I don't know, 10 rebounds a quarter.
Vooch is a double-double machine, so that's easy money. Bet that shit every fucking night.
Right.
That's what I do the NBA season.
Well, I mean, you could. He's talking about a quarter.
I'm talking about a quarter.
Like a team could get maybe. I mean, a team could probably get 10 rebounds in a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're
the way
shooting
the Bulls
enough.
shoot, yeah.
If they're shooting enough, not offensive rebounds.
Not
offensive rebounds, but they could get defensive
Vooch will
rebounds.
get 6 defensive rebounds.
Okay, so I meant offensive rebounds.
But
I'll retract
either
that.
way,
Under 10, easy.
Either way, you're right. I mean, the team has so many flaws. It's not just Zach. It's not just DeMar. It's not just a bad contract. They've just don't, like you said, development, the decision-making on who they're going to bring in, what those players can do for you, it's all just kind of fugazi, man.
Yeah.
And
Kobe White is...
And I hate
Wasn't
to
the
say
kid
it,
that we just drafted from overseas, we just cut him?
yeah, what was
Was Simonovic?
did they just cut
Yeah.
some out
They
of
cut
it?
Simonovic.
So there you go.
No development.
And then they wrote a nice little Instagram post, best of luck, which I thought was stupid. Like, you're calling him out, and he wasn't even here that long.
That's nothing to do with the team. That's the PR.
I know, but I'm also in marketing.
That's marketing and PR.
Yeah.
That's trying to put, a nice picture in front of you. That's all that shit is. Don't-
No, I know.
And they look like assholes.
They
for
do.
doing
They
it.
do.
Like,
That's
they
why.
look
That's
like
how I'm going with
douchebags
it.
for
Like
that.
front office, PR, everything.
Like
in
we're
there.
supposed to be. What are we going to congratulate Simonovic? Is this just a post just for you guys? Like that's.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we don't care about Simonovic. Like we never even seen him
He
play.
played like 6 minutes all season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bulls team is fucking frustrating.
And then Kobe White is an example of
Kobe
somewhat
White
development.
and Zach LaVine are the same fucking person.
Right.
Yeah. Kobe White is streaky, just like Zach, but Kobe White also can turn the ball over just like Zach, and he
because they can't dribble.
disappears just like Zach.
They both can't dribble. I don't know what it is. They can't dribble in traffic.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they might be less than 500.
No, don't make 500.
I don't even want it to be 500. I want them to be over, but the last 2 seasons they couldn't beat good. They would beat good. The last season they beat good teams, and they would lose to the crappy teams, right? Yeah. And then the following year they would beat the crappy teams. They couldn't beat the good teams. So we'll see how this season goes. But I'm interested in season tickets and how much they are and what they're going to be. I'm curious to see that. I mean, I'll go and ask people what you're doing here.
What should season tickets be for a non-playoff team? Like I know what their promises say, but like what are they gonna like really march out there? Because
the experience at the United Center.
All of us have had the experience.
LeBron, like what was that Norm Van Leer that Norm Van Leer commercial? You can see Kobe. It's like these motherfuckers aren't on our team, but yeah, no, it's Yeah, it's
that was
just
the baby
like
Bulls.
Yeah, the baby Bulls.
Yeah,
the baby
I
Bulls.
remember that.
Oh man.
And I would sit like 2 rows behind the bench. I'm like, yes, I'm here.
And I thought we got out of that darkness. Like, you know what I mean? Like I thought we left that bad land, but
I don't know. Chicago's stuck in mediocre, however you want to say it. Fucking just every team.
I mean, if you have a okay job and you're in Chicago, you're just gonna keep that job until you get let go or you find another one.
I mean, I did apply for the Bulls.
Oh, okay. So did I, but it wasn't paying much, and
no, I think it was to.
But for point guard?
Yeah, I'm small enough.
I mean, we might as well start taking. They might as well start taking flyers.
Well, they did have open tryout.
Yeah, they did
last week.
Yeah,
they had open tryout. 1 day open tryout at the Advocate Center. So I don't know who else. I mean, they have holes to fill. So I don't know. I would love to watch that.
Yep, I mean. I'd be there. Cool. I would be there.
All these street hoopers who think they can actually play.
They probably are all done by conditioning.
All gassed.
Like they're like, oh, what? We got to run for an hour. I thought we were just gonna play ball.
No, run and gun ball. Yeah. All right, let's. You want to take a break or you want to go straight into Cubs?
It's up to you. I mean,
we could take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break.
Have
all
a
right.
smoke, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with more True Chicago Sports Fans with Ivan and Steven. We'll come back and talk some baseball.
Cubby Blue, baby.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hey, True Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15. TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No War on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
No Water on the Weekend.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z. We got Stevie-B and Ivan Vargas.
Yes.
All right, guys. Let's get into some baseball. I know it is the middle of the baseball season. We got about 100 games played in.
Yes,
so let's talk about our Chicago Cubs first this time.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. The best team in town.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they are better.
I'm glad Ivan's on my side.
I mean, it's just the truth. Like, no pun intended, but yeah.
They're a better team right now.
Yes, they are.
But you know what's coming up? The Crosstown, and that decides. That's our World Series, man. That decides who's the better team.
Ivan, does that matter to you?
It does. It really
it's
does.
bragging rights.
Like my family's all from the South Side. Like on my mother's side, they're all from the South Side, and we have a big family.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all Sox fans.
Yeah.
So I've been teased. I haven't let go of some of the teasing that I've held on to from the past. So it's like, especially after 2003, oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just.
Yeah.
That was your year.
Yeah, they were just beating us up. Like they were just beating me up with the insults. I'm like, yeah, I got it. We lost. Leave me alone. But
let me go cry.
Yeah, go cry. And and then on top of that, the World Series and everything. But I just I love seeing it. I love the back and forth. I mean, don't go shooting somebody. Like, don't go trying to stab each other.
No, use your words. Use your words.
But the back and forth, that's fine. I love that stuff. Like,
use your hands, okay?
Yeah.
We're Italian.
But we'll hit some key points. Like, Cubs believe that they have what it takes to make a playoff push. The Yankees and Rangers have been inquiring about Bellinger.
He's a free agent at the end of the year. He is a Scott Boras fucking client. He is not going to renegotiate mid-season. He's going to wait till the end of the season, get his bag, with all 30 teams negotiating to get him.
I understand that.
He said he loves Chicago. Obviously he's rehabbed.
Well, of course you're going to say that when you're here.
I actually think he genuinely likes being here.
when he was on the Dodgers,
Mm-hmm.
he would rake at Wrigley Field. Like I felt like it was one of his better.
Yeah, he
his
was a
favorite
Cubs killer,
parks.
yeah.
He would just kill us every time we play him. No matter what at Wrigley, he was getting hits, home runs, just destroying us. So, as far as his career, I think it was a great decision to come to a ballpark that you're comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the Cubs, like, they do a decent job with bringing in guys and kind of, especially a guy that had an MVP season before.
Right.
They were able to go ahead and
Build him
back up.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you. And I'm good with him leaving now. Like, I'm down with them trading people. Like, don't get me wrong. I would rather. I'm a huge Cubs fan. I love what's going on. But if you got the King's ransom for Stroman, if you got a King's ransom for Bellinger, if you got a King's ransom for Kyle Hendricks, or something that you think is going to help you in the future to maybe move and get somebody of quality, do it. Because, there's a lot of people that point to the Orioles. The Orioles finally had a great season. Like, they were finally
they still
coming
are.
back.
They
No,
had a great
I mean
season,
last
right.
year.
Last year they did, yes.
It was their first season above 5. Like, they were looking like a good baseball team.
After
instead of
losing
like
100 games, right.
Yeah, instead of like a AAA farm club for the past, 15 years? 10 years, something like that?
They had a player that was in the All-Star, not All-Star, Home Run Derby.
Right.
Yeah.
But
He got screwed, but
what they did is they played it smart for themselves. They're like, what do we really have? Are we going to be able to be a playoff team that makes a push, or are we going to be a team that goes ahead and throws something at trading somebody now and just don't make it? It just doesn't work out, and now we have to reset and work all over again. I am all on board with getting the best deal you can for any of those three guys or anybody on the Cubs. It makes sense, especially if you can't win the World Series. If you don't believe it,
I don't.
Don't do it.
I don't. And I'm doing it from the outside, not being a hater, but the Cubs, I don't see them beating anybody in a 5 or 7 game series.
It's the truth.
No, I agree with that. And I agree with that. I want to believe that they could go to the playoffs. And, I wouldn't want them to go, but I'd like them to show some fight.
They do show fight. They're
do.
a good
but
team.
But I mean as like getting
It's either
close.
the problem is with them,
close to
they're bang or bust.
Right.
It's a lot of runs, or they give up a lot of runs. It's one way or the other.
Right.
You don't see them winning close games.
They do come back if they're down.
No, I know that,
They have
and that's great. That means that team has fight. There's continuity there.
Right. But then I'm saying if they get close or they're like, fighting for a spot, but they don't actually win.
They're 8 games out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a lot.
Well, the schedule that they're playing right now could change it up and could be 4.
But you know what? The Cardinals came in hot playing you guys. They had won 5 in a row, and there was like a 9.
6 in a row.
There was 6 in a row.
No. I'm sorry. 5 in a row. Then
and they won
beat
6,
us,
yeah.
And then it was
Right.
6.
And they've won 9 out of 11 or something like that. They came in hot. I mean, again, all these teams in the Central are weak, and they're just taking turns of beating up each other. And none of those teams are going to be able to beat Atlanta, the Dodgers. None of those are the 2 teams. The Diamondbacks.
Then they beat the. I'll give you the teams that are in the hunt right now for the wild card. I'll give you the division leaders and the wild card. Right?
Yeah.
The Braves. No.
Yeah.
You
No.
already seen them lose a series to the Philadelphia Phillies. They probably can't beat the Miami Marlins.
Nope.
The Cincinnati Reds. You saw them lose to them.
And they're coming in next week.
Yeah, and they're coming in next week.
after on Thursday.
Yeah, right after the Sox.
Yeah.
The Brewers. No. The Dodgers.
Hell no.
No. The Diamondbacks, the Giants, hell, the Padres. I don't see it working out for them.
Right.
Especially with the pitching that they have. I need them to collect some prospects, go make a big trade, and get somebody that throws heat.
Yeah.
The Cubs just have some soft serve pitchers. I know I like Stroman, I like Steele, I like Hendricks, but
Hendricks
you
is
need
done.
somebody.
But that's it. That's all you got.
Hendricks is done.
You need somebody that scares a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Like, you need somebody that's like, oh, shit, I got to go face Nolan Ryan. I mean, I'm obviously not Nolan Ryan, but somebody's that's going to throw heat and
Like
be
Verlander.
nasty.
Or Randy Johnson.
Right.
Verlander in his heyday,
Yeah.
Even Frank Thomas talked about. He's like, he had my number, and he Verlander wears 35 in honor of Frank Thomas, just because he struck him out so much.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Randy now.
Randy?
Or Verlander.
Justin.
Verlander? Yeah.
Sorry.
No, Verlander's a beast. And again, we have a lot of disappointing teams all over MLB that spent a lot of money, like the Mets, the Padres. I think the Padres still a disappointment. The Cardinals, another disappointment.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, they spend that money, and it could They could be off, and
The Orioles and Tampa Bay don't spend money, and look where they're at.
It's farm system.
Right. That's system wide from top to bottom. This is what we're going to do.
How long has it taken?
It's taken a long time.
Because they had that the clean house from top to bottom and say, no, this is how we're going to do it. It took them 4 years to do that. Chris Davis, dude was a home run monster, and then the next 3-4 seasons, and then he couldn't hit.
Couldn't hit.
It was like 083.
Right.
And now he's hitting. I forgot what team he's playing with, but he's hitting now. And I'm like,
he's hitting on he's in the minors again. Yeah. He's hitting.
Yeah, so it's like, baseball is such a weird sport, and money really doesn't buy you a championship.
Right.
Not like the NBA, where you can buy a championship. I feel like you can do that with the NBA.
But I just feel like, with the Cubs, like they have the fight, anything could happen. But then when you start trading and you get in these prospects, it's kind of like, well, I understand you're looking for the future, like same thing with the Bears. But as a fan, I like to have some excitement going to the ballpark. I just don't want to go to the ballpark.
Dude, that ballpark is never empty.
I understand that.
They probably
but I
lead
like
in
to go.
attendance.
But
It's been falling down lately. Like, people aren't just going. It's expensive.
This weekend, dude, it was jam-packed. But it's also Cardinals.
Right.
Yeah, it's also Cardinals.
Cardinals. So you're going to get like a maybe 60-30 crowd, or maybe even more evenly split.
Yeah.
But people aren't, because of how, what we're living in now, this economy or everything like that. Inflation. People aren't just going to go ahead and pay for a team that's losing.
No.
Or just
right.
That lovable loser
look
shit.
across town.
Yeah.
That's exactly
It's
what
the
it
same
is.
thing, yeah.
The White Sox fans do not show up if the team sucks.
Right. But they're going to have a good attendance the next 2 days. That's for sure.
No, I told you, that's the World Series of Chicago. It's going to be jam-packed, standing room only. That's every year. Actually, we'll get into it a little bit later, but I did find some clips when I was researching. I think it might have been like 03, 05, 07. Those 3 years, those clips. Wrigley was kind of like half empty. And I don't know, maybe it was the weather, maybe it rained that day. I don't explain it, but I'm like, the bleachers are kind of half empty. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe they all went to the bathroom that day.
They're all in line.
They're all in line trying to get into the bathroom. But
now, who has a trophy?
The White Sox.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the trophy.
The Wintrust.
Wait, what is it now?
It's Wintrust now.
Okay, yeah. Wintrust.
The Wintrust Cup, whatever it is.
That's the closest thing that you're ever gonna get.
So. We're not. Either team is not winning shit.
Well, maybe not this season, but I have faith.
We're
gonna
win the Crosstown Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's.
I think so.
We'll see.
I want to make a bet, but I'm afraid to make a bet. Ivan, do you know the bet that's going on between me and Big Z?
I don't.
So at the beginning of the season, January?
Yeah.
He said that the White Sox wouldn't win 65 games. Now,
at the time, everyone made fun of me.
Yes.
Everyone shitted on me.
Yeah.
And everyone thought I was crazy. Okay, I was looking at the stats of the last of the Royals and who I don't know who else was last.
Detroit.
So I was going off of that.
Okay, again.
So yeah, but then everyone's talking really loud. There's like 6 people. Somehow the number came to $200.
I doubled down.
And Ivan, I gave him an out. I told him by the All-Star, the trade dedeadline, anything like that.
I got a couple days. If I want to opt out.
If he wants to opt out, it's $200.
All right, now there's 61 games left. And
I'm like doing the math.
I did the math.
They need 26, 25.
Right, so they have to win 37% of their games.
Right. Now, if they're sellers, you're looking.
They might play fucking even better if they're sellers. I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. Look at Ivan's doing the math in his head.
Ivan's praying that I win this $200. Ivan, if I win if I win these $200, I'll buy you a beer, 2 beers, a shot, because I want a Cubby fan to enjoy this money.
That sounds
with
good.
Me.
I think that you have a legitimate chance.
Now he does, especially after we started with a 10-game losing streak at the beginning of the season.
I mean, first, I would have thought you were crazy too.
Yeah.
I would have been like, they have to have a bad year, and I wouldn't have believed you because I thought they were going to have a really good, a bounce back year. But
yeah,
you have a legit shot, especially if they trade Kopech or they start trading
it's gonna
Tim Anderson.
Tim Anderson's gone.
But yeah, so that's our bet right now. We'll jump into the White Sox because we're watching the White Sox together yesterday, but we'll jump into that. But I just think if the Cubs trade Stroman, I understand that. I like belly bombs.
I don't think you should trade Stroman.
I don't think so either. I would like for them to keep one of them. I don't think they're going to keep any of them.
You don't trade away good pitching unless you're rebuilding.
Right. And good pitching is hard to find.
You're not rebuilding.
Right.
The entire Cubs thought process was 2024 that they would compete.
Right.
That's next year.
Right.
Why wouldn't you lock this kid up who wants to be here?
Exactly.
Who's a fucking stud, who is an ace on your rotation? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Now,
Me either. So I don't know. I agree with you. We'll see. You have to, again, you're getting more prospects.
You have to see the deal, though. Because and I get you're getting more prospects, and prospects aren't always.
No, you don't know.
And they have to be developed, and yeah.
But like I said, those prospects can turn into the pitcher that you need. You know what I mean?
You can turn into the
and that could open up a spot for somebody that you have in a farm system to move up. Like it sucks because, like you said, you want to see somebody that you like. I love seeing Stroman out there. I love the energy. I enjoy it. But I also I see the business side, and I see how one move can affect the future and change everything for a franchise. So it's like if the juice is worth the squeeze, I could see them doing it.
Yeah, so could I. I'm disappointed because I want them to keep everyone and spend more money, but that's not exactly gonna happen. It's business.
But your cornerstone is gonna be Swanson, right?
Yeah, but he's
he has to be your corner. I mean,
yeah,
you paid him big money.
You got him, Seiya Suzuki,
who's been kind of a disappointment.
It's been a disappointment.
Yeah.
Because you expected him to have power numbers. He doesn't have it.
I want him to be like 275.
I mean, yesterday he had a good game.
Right.
Maybe not 25 home runs, but like flirting with 20.
Yeah.
Somewhere up there.
Yeah, I mean.
But I think yesterday he had a good game.
He
has good games, but it's not consistent. I get that point.
When you signed him, you thought you had a good contact hitter. Right. Like you said, he can run into 20 home runs, especially at Wrigley. Ian Happ up and down. Who's the other kid?
Patrick Wisdom.
Who's been hurt, but I actually like Patrick Wisdom at third. He's got a cannon.
Right.
I think they need to find one of the two.
And Ian Happ
or third base. Yeah, Ian Happ has been a disappointment too.
Oh my God. And don't put Nico.
Nico
2 strikes in.
Great. I like Nico. I even with his struggles lately, I like Nico. He's proved that he can hit the ball. He's proved that he can play, and he's proved his defense is just top notch. So I would love a Nico Swanson combo up the middle for a while.
Oh, you're talking about Nico Horner.
Nico Horner.
Not Nico. Not Nicky's two strikes.
No. No. I thought you were talking about Nico Horner.
No, Horner's fine.
No, Horner's fine.
Horner's fine at second.
Nicky 2 strikes.
They put him at third base. I'm like, he does not have the arm for third base.
No. I don't know what the hell is gonna happen.
That's your coach, man. That's your coach putting him there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's gonna happen to him. But as far as the corners need to be solved.
Yes.
The corners need to be solved.
Matt Mervis, he came up, he struggled. I mean, that's gonna happen. Every guy does that. They go up and down. Huh?
Mo.
Mo who?
Morale.
Oh, Morale too.
Morale's
fine.
He's been good, but he did that transition of playing what?
He was playing outfield, and then they put him at second base, and they put him at short. I'm like, what the fuck?
He plays everything but catcher and pitch.
But he looks good playing what, second?
Yeah.
He looks good playing.
Or sometimes
he's a grinder. He can play anywhere.
Yeah, right. He's a guy that you could put somewhere, and you're like, we'll be all right.
Yeah, his athletic ability.
He's like a good Ryan Theriot.
The right,
or Mike Fontenot,
Right.
Those guys look like brothers.
They're all everywhere. Yeah, he's able to run everywhere. He's able to field, everything. Very athletic.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to be above 500. I think that would be my ideal thing.
You're 5 games out of 500, right?
Right.
I believe so.
Yes. Yeah.
You got that up there?
6.5.
6.5.
But I would love for that to happen because the last couple of years,
5 in back of the wild card. So.
There we go.
Right. We've been under 500, and I've told you, David Ross, I didn't believe was a great signing to re-sign him, but if he keeps having under 500 seasons, it's like, you're respected as a player and you know how to talk to players, but do you have the mentality to be that coach? So can you make that transition?
There's been a lot of questionable calls, and I've been watching Cubs games when I can, when I'm at bowling, they're up there, but there's a lot of questionable calls of what he's been doing.
I would give him, because of what they've said, because of what the Cubs are saying, they expect to go and compete
in 2024
next year, right?
You give him that extra year.
The target date.
Yeah.
I want to see him
with
1
talent.
year into that. After next year, that's when you're like, all right, we got to make a decision on David Ross, because now you should have been able to reload your farm system, give him the players that he needs, you have everything at your disposal now. make a big signing.
No excuses.
There's no excuses, no money excuses, no nothing. So you better be active in free agency, active at the trade deadline with whether it be a big acquisition or just something small to accumulate draft picks. But I think you need to give him this one last year with everything on the table because I don't think he's been given a full chamber.
No.
I really don't.
No.
It's like
I can understand the first couple of years you're working with pretty much nothing.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like this year, you have a average team, so give me a 500 at least. In my eyes.
At this point, you got to believe in the front office because they let go of KB. They let go of.
KB's not doing that well. Rizzo's
That's what I'm
in
saying.
a slump.
Rizzo,
The only one.
Rizzo had 4-for-4 with a home run yesterday, so he's out of that
finally
slump.
hit a home run.
Yeah, finally. It was like 2 or 3 months. He's about a home run.
Yeah.
But
Schwarberg is the one that I wish we would have kept.
That was a mistake.
That was a big
That
mistake.
was the mistake because he was only worth $10 million at the time, and you could have signed him to a 2-3 year contract.
He signed for $8 million with was it the Nationals?
The Nationals.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at him now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So,
And he was with Boston, and he won a ring.
right. Oh, no. He didn't win a ring. No.
He almost did, but they didn't. They didn't make it. They got beat by I can't remember who, but they had a chance with Philadelphia when he was with Philly.
Yeah.
They went to the World Series.
Yeah, every team in Philadelphia lost the championship.
I know. I loved it.
Yeah, that was enjoyable.
That was great.
Soccer, football, basketball, everyone.
And, basketball, they didn't get close. They didn't get the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm saying they didn't make it.
And,
Nobody made it.
Yeah. So that's pretty
So
funny.
we're saying 2024. That is the opening of the window for the Chicago Cubs.
No, that's
Because now your kids, Pete Armstrong should be coming up. Mervis should be coming up. Who's the other kid you have up there? Oh, he's so good. Eric. Damn it, he's been down there for a while. He's always been hurt.
Surprised if they come up.
Even get here because, like I said, don't be surprised if there's some trades in the offseason.
Right.
And you're like, hey, we could get this guy because there's a team that's struggling. Or, they have. He was solid for them, but their team isn't going anywhere, or their team's needs a salary dump or something. You could go ahead and make a trade with those players. So
New York might be sellers.
Yeah.
We don't know.
And they've never been sellers. They've always been, pretty much buyers.
No, we're talking about the Mets.
Oh.
The Mets are going to be sellers. There's no way that you keep that payroll with that team sucking that bad.
That's New York.
You're going to see the Rangers. You're going to see Atlanta. You're going to see the Dodgers. You're going to see maybe Pittsburgh, maybe Cincinnati try to poach as many players from other teams that are disappointments, including the White Sox, to try to get their championship. There's a lot of teams that are in contention that's never won a championship. And it's time. Another team that's disappointment right now, they were watching Seattle. I thought this would be the team this year with all that talent that they have, that they would be competing, but they're not that good.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, let's transition to the White Sox.
Yeah. Fun times.
We're going to continue the slip and slide or the spiral downward. That is the White Sox.
No, we're at the little kid dinosaur ride that goes in a circle. It's not even a roller coaster. It's just a little thing. Goes around 5 times and you're done.
It's that little horse outside of Venture.
Right. That's
But
the ride
that's
that
it.
gets broken all the time.
Yeah, it's showing my age. The White Sox have just won 5 games this month after killing in June. It's insane. The Twins winning the series, which was a series that the White Sox had to sweep to stay in contention, to stay in push mode. But this team doesn't have it, man. This team doesn't have heart. This team doesn't have the will to win, as Hawk would say. I don't think Grafal is the right manager for you. I think that everybody, including myself, was shitting on Tony La Russa for the past, the 2 years that he was there. But he was way above 500.
That's true.
To be honest with you, with all Tony's flaws, you have to, and he did. It was
Yes.
Tony.
Right.
There was a lot that had to do with Tony issue wise.
The drinking, the gambling.
I mean, outside of personal issues, but in the clubhouse,
The
there
drinking.
was there was a fracture with the players. There was a fracture that he couldn't fix. I mean, if you don't have a team with a guy like Jose Abreu, a guy like Tim Anderson, and all these talented players gelling together in that locker room, there's nobody in the world that's gonna fix it.
No, and it just carried over this year.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when Ricky Renteria was there, that was not an issue. And the Cubs fired him because they moved on to a new manager.
Right, yeah.
To get a good manager.
He did a good job.
He did a good job with the Cubs. He brought them back to life. White Sox did the same thing. Ricky's boys don't quit. Hey, Moncada, you didn't run the first? Sit right here next to me. You're done. And he would hold his players accountable.
Exactly.
And guess what? The players complained, went up to the front office, and guess what? He's gone. Now, Rick Hahn wants to get a new manager. Sorry. Put the handcuffs on, sir, because you ain't hiring nobody. The owner comes down, says, "Oh no, my boy's gonna come here and manage, and I'm gonna rectify something from 40 years ago for no reason." Tony was done.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a Hall of Fame manager. He is a mastermind. He's a fucking lawyer. Shit, he's smart. But there's times that the game is gonna pass you by, and that's exactly what happened.
Right.
Everyone's like, "Oh, but he speaks Spanish too." Like, that doesn't matter. If two guys don't get along with each other, you can't fix that.
You got a race war in the ball club.
Right. You know what would have been perfect if you would have. And this is all hindsight. Like, obviously, I was like, "Oh, I guess Ricky's got to go too." But if you look at it, if they would have kept Ricky and just put Tony in a like a supervisor, like a advisor role, I think that might have been better off than anything. Because now you have two guys that speak Spanish.
Yeah. Because the rest of the staff doesn't speak Spanish. Come on, guys.
Exactly.
That's the issue.
That is not the issue.
But now you could rectify whatever you rectified, and you keep a guy he's the last guy that got you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's the last. Did you get a win in that series? No. That was a one and done, right?
One and done. That was a one and done.
But he was the last guy to get you to the playoffs.
He got to the playoffs, and then Tony Russo had the same team, got to the playoffs, and they lost.
Oh, okay.
So
Tony got to the Okay, I
forgot. The 2020 season.
The 2020 season
was a short season that he.
Yeah. It doesn't count in my book.
Well, the Dodgers won the World Series, so it counts.
Yeah, sure.
My second team. I mean, again, Grafal, again, they picked somebody out of the obscurity of the woods, which is Kansas City, for no fucking reason.
And their record was not any great.
But this guy's never been a manager. He's always been every position but a manager. And, he comes in with his press conference like, "Oh, we're going to play hard, and we're going to play the right way, and we're not going to tolerate this other bullshit."
And everyone believed it.
Oh, I didn't. I'm like, this is not the guy. You could have got the Rangers manager, Bruce Bochy. They didn't want to pay Bruce Bochy.
How much did he get paid?
A lot more than this. I'm gonna tell you right now, he probably gets like 13, 15 million a year or something like that. Something small. In comparison to what he can do. He's a proven winner. He took to the Giants to 3 World Series.
In three times that nobody believed the Giants were going to win the World Series.
Right.
He did it 3 times.
Right. He's like the equivalent of the Blackhawks. Three different cups in 2010, 13, and 15.
Within a matter of 5-year span.
Right. So, like, you could tell he's a proven manager, no nonsense, but can let the players do what they want to do, kind of have fun, this and that. But he's a no-nonsense fucking coach, and that's what we needed. You have it up there?
Yeah, I didn't get It doesn't have the number, but it's a 3-year contract.
It's a 3-year contract.
Let me look up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But it's yes, it is a manager, but also this weekend between drop balls, between falling down. Example like yesterday.
You got Colas falling down. The wind took it to the right. I mean, that's gonna happen. I mean, Colas already threw somebody out earlier in that game. They weren't trying to run on him. It's just the fact that he fell down. Like, fuck it, I'm taking the base too.
And then also the third string catcher.
That is. Oh, thank you for reminding me, because Grafal has 3 catchers on his fucking staff.
Right, we were talking about that yesterday when we were eating tacos, and I'm enjoying this whole game.
Yeah, so he takes out Zebi Zavala, who's the best defensive catcher we have, for the fucking new kid, Rodriguez or whatever his name is. And then he ends up batting and striking out. I'm like, this is why we don't do that.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when he's catching. The closer is pitching.
Yeah. So
he
the
throws
ball,
it.
the ball, yeah. So there's a man on second, and there's a wild pitch, and it bounces right in front of him and gets past him, and the backup catcher, whatever his name is, Rodriguez or whatever his name is, doesn't even pay attention
that there's a guy on second.
There's no outs.
And he runs to third.
And then he's like, I don't know where the ball's at. He turns around and he's like, oh, duh.
Well, I think he didn't think that there was no one on base.
Yeah, because it was the 10th inning.
Right. And that he let it go by or like whatever. But then he was like, oh, no, there's someone. And he went to go grab it. And I pointed that out right away. And yeah.
Yeah, well, injuries have been plaguing the White Sox for multiple years. So I don't know if it's a systemic thing because the Bulls have the same kind of problem. I don't know if we need to change from Rush to wherever, to Northwestern or whatever. I'm not dogging it because Rush fixed my my hip. So, but Rick Hahn gave Grafo a shitty fucking lineup, a lineup that doesn't really complement itself. I mean, you gave away a lot of pieces that could have helped, but Grafo wasn't the guy. Grafo was not the guy, and unfortunately, they're gonna keep him after they sell and say, "Oh, you work with the young kids again," and back to square one. You could have kept Ricky for this entire time for this bullshit. It's very simple. Like, there is no urgency with this fucking organization. Berger being benched early in the season in favor of Gavin Sheets, who wasn't hitting. He can only hit against right-handers. He can't hit against left-handers. So we're not going to play him. That is a half a player. Why is he on this fucking roster? Yes, I get it. We drafted him high.
Yep.
But if he can't hit against left-handers, we'll send him downstate to the minors and give him reps against left-handers. It's not hard science. It's really not. And if he can't do it, cut him. It's not fucking hard to do that. Jake Berger's got, over 20 homers? And the only reason he's playing is because Moncada's being a little bitch and been hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he's not conditioned.
He actually does have a fucking fucked up back. I talked to Ozzy off air, and he said, no, Moncada's actually really fucked up in the back.
But with that news, that's even scarier.
Yes.
Now you can't trade Moncada.
No, you can't. You can't at all.
Because that's the guy everybody was like, okay, you could still probably go ahead and move Yohan Moncada, especially if he has a big year. And now you can't do anything with that player.
Nothing. It's the Joe Creedy.
Yeah, just pretty much, yeah.
Well, I love Joe Creedy.
He did really well.
Joe Creedy can fucking hit.
Joe Creedy was
a monster.
He was a monster from when he was healthy.
Yeah. So, sorry to break that news to you people. I'm talking off here with Ozzy that he.
Yeah, when you were cheesing, being so happy.
It's called networking, sir.
No, I believe you, but you were still cheesing, and I love it.
Of course I was.
I love it.
That's if you were, with the Cubs and talking to
David Ross or talking to, anyone. Anyway, but Ivan, I just got to tell you off here. So we went to the Red Sox, White Sox, and that same face that he was making on that, he went to go to the White Sox store, Kid in the Candy store.
Of
course.
I
love this hat. I love this thing. And I'm like,
I got like over 200 hats, man.
And so do I. I have a greater selection of hats. No, not just White Sox, but Bulls, Cubs, Bears.
Yeah. I have Toronto hats. I have San Diego hats. If it's a good hat, I'll wear it.
No, I don't represent anyone else.
I have one Cub hat. I have one Cub hat.
I want you to wear it and take a photo when the Cubs win both games. If the Cubs win both games, I want you to take a photo with that Cubs hat.
If they take 3 out of 4.
No, I want this. No. Of course that could happen. I want to sweep.
If they sweep.
Okay. If they sweep.
The sweep at guarantee rate. You have to wear a hat.
Okay, and then if the White Sox sweep at Wrigley, then you got to wear a White Sox hat.
Fine. Deal. That's the cheapest one right now. The deal we could do.
Yeah, because you could both wear the shit, right?
Yeah.
I just have to borrow one of your hats.
You got to get one of your own, sir.
Shit. I was going to offer you one of mine, but okay.
I have a Cub hat. I have the little bear with the little bat.
Okay,
and
Cubs,
if
you're listening
right now. And I have
now.
the softball jersey as well. That goes along with it. It's a Nike softball jersey. Got it like over 10 years ago. I have that one. I have San Diego. I have the Brewers. Dude, I'm a baseball fan. I have no ill will against the Cubs organization. I just hate ignorant cum fads that don't know the lineup, that don't know their players.
I understand that.
And the same thing for the White Sox. Same thing. I didn't even say that.
Yeah, same thing. But my thing is, like, I love the Red Sox just because I helped them win in 2004.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I signed my initials on their field in Fenway Park when I went 3 times, and they won that World Series that year. They've won on my birthday. They've won on my birthday. They've won so many times, and I just have a connection with them. But I still root for the Cubs. Now, when the Red Sox came to Wrigley, I was like, I'm just gonna wear my Cubs stuff, man.
Wow. I've been to Fenway, and I bought a Fenway.
You made your choice.
Right.
Yeah. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, it's like, I'll rep those teams, but
I have Red Sox gear. I have a hat and shirt.
You could be a baseball person, but
I am a baseball
I'm a
person,
Chicagoan diehard.
I have a Sandberg jersey too. I'm waiting for me to run into him and get it signed, but I don't wear it because it's a white jersey and I don't want to mess it up.
Right.
Yeah, those white jerseys.
Yeah, they stain really easy.
Yeah, they do. Trust me. I gotta wear one
I know.
on Wednesday.
All of my White Sox jerseys that are white, like they end up like a mustard stain or like the sweat stains. That's what happens with those.
Yeah. Speaking of me being a really Chicagoan, the one thing I could actually respect that the White Sox did is they put a shame bell inside the stadium where it says no ketchup. And if you put ketchup on your hot dog, you gotta shame yourself and ring that bell. So
I mean, do they do it just for the adults? Because kids put ketchup on everything, so you can't like.
Then you spank the kid right then and there. No.
The bartender does it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, I went to G and Jude's. My parents and myself, we would go to G and Jude's. There was no ketchup there, so
neither
grew
Jimmy's.
Up I just grew up having mustard. So if you come here, don't ask. You should know the rules by now. Just like in New York, I'm not gonna ask for a deep dish. I'm gonna have a thin slice and fold it and eat it up because I eat my pizza like I'm in New York.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. That was one cool thing.
Oh, I guess I'll check it out. I'll video it when the next game I go to.
Okay. Yes. Please take a photo by it too.
Yeah, I don't put ketchup on my hot dog.
I know you don't, but I just want you to take
More
a photo.
peppers, onions, relish, mustard.
I think when we went to the game, we each had 2 hot dogs.
Oh, yeah. I had I had 2 Polish.
I never get the Cubs. I don't know if they have
the onions.
I might be wrong. No,
they have the caramelized onions.
No, the celery salt.
No.
I might have missed out on it, but like every time I go to the concessions, I'm like.
I mean, it's on your shirt. You got the salt on there.
I mean, I got it on there, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe they got it somewhere else.
I'm pretty sure they do in select areas, not when they give it to you and you're getting it from the guy who's handing them out in the stands.
No, he has to have it on deck. He should have like a little holster of celery salt.
Yeah.
Ready
And
to go. Like all the condiments. Like he should have like a gun holster, but it should be just condiments inside.
Yeah.
Like ready to go.
Warm, hot condiments. You know,
well, it's not, you don't put mayo on it, so who cares?
Yeah, I wouldn't put mayo on a hot dog either.
I know it jumped off track here.
No, it's fine. Well, we made a bet, and we'll see what happens. I'm happy that Ivan approves of this bet because
he's another cuffhead.
I understand it, but it's not just.
Oh man, if that first bet, everyone was laughing.
Like
that's why I doubled down.
Like that first bet, that's why I started like looking like pretty hard at the note. I was like, man, he could actually do.
Yeah.
Like this could actually work for you. Like,
Yeah. My issue was I was seeing how many people they were dealing out, and then getting this manager, and then just Sox being the Sox and who they are, they're just as bad as the Mets.
Oh, whoa.
You know?
Check those records. Check those records. Anyway, let me finish my point here.
Go ahead.
Oh, my God. So, Jake Berger was struggling at the plate in June. His wife was watching film of him and said, hey, your ass is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And I was like, wait a second, what? He says when he's in his batting stance that his front shoulder would open up first, which means you're not keeping your hips right.
Right.
So he looked at the film, fixed it, and started hitting home runs right away.
Yeah, his wife did that.
I'm sorry. The White Sox organization should be doing this.
No, absolutely.
Not his wife.
Sign her now.
Sign her now.
She could look at all their butts.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
What is your position?
So happy.
Right.
She's happy with
What is your position? I'm the ass coordinator.
I make sure their asses are doing what it's supposed to be too.
Right. Now I need to see full contact. I need you to take your pants off, sir.
Yes, I need to see the full motion.
So I mean, hey,
get that lady a job.
From swing to ripple.
Yeah. She's gonna watch it in slow motion. You see right here, this is where you fucked up. All right. Again, Grafal fucking up with Berger. Grafal fucking up with Tim Anderson, who hurt his knee and hurt his shoulder. Still in the lineup, still batting lead off. For no fucking reason. The dude's been struggling with his baby mama drama. Put him down in the fucking lineup. He's come out of it lately because he's going opposite field now. He's not trying to hit home runs. Finally. But I keep him at number 2. Leave Benintendi at number 1. He's been doing very well there. Eloy, groin injury.
Yeah.
Groin in this kid is put this kid in a bubble.
Like Bubble Boy.
Yeah. Put him in a bubble. This fucking kid is still in the lineup with the groin injury. He should be on a 10-day IL. Oh, but we need him in the lineup.
Yeah, because they have no one on the bench.
No, we do have people on the bench. Give me that fucking kid. Who's the fucking kid that we just got? Remenard. excuse me, playing second base. Put his ass in the outfield.
Breathe. He's Jose's like
dude,
so
I am so over this fucking team getting their ass quicked.
I
mean, I get it, and I
just don't want you to die. We just don't want you to die.
Right. We want you to breathe.
So like choking on there, like. Woof.
I need those $200, Jose.
Well, no, but like going back to Eloy, like, bro.
Dumb shit.
You know how happy I am.
Hey, I got Cease out of it though.
Like Cease, honestly, I thought it was gonna be flip flop.
Yeah.
I thought Cease was gonna be like, eh.
Yeah.
And then I thought Eloy was gonna be like.
Cease was a throw-in.
Cease is good.
Cease is a fucking monster.
Eloy, on the other hand,
oh god,
like, bro, I don't want to. I can't explain it, but he just needs to be a DH.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
And they already have a ton of DHs on that team.
Yeah, him, Grandal,
and catchers.
Yeah. And then Andrew Vaughn, I don't know what the hell. I'm just reading about this. He's in a walking boot. What the fuck? But they don't put him on the IL. That's why Grandal's playing first base yesterday. I'm like, why is he playing first base? But that's my point.
Base? Like, I feel like they're afraid to ask who's injured and who's not. And they know everyone's injured.
Everybody's fucking injured.
And they won't have a team to put on the field. I think that's the issue that they have right now with the White Sox. Because, come on, ask everyone. Go in the clubhouse. Ask who's hurt and who's not. And then you're going to see majority of your players who are playing day to day are injured. I also think that's why they want to leave.
I mean,
because they're forced to play.
From
like Northwestern.
From Mike Rodriguez, Mike Rodriguez Deportes. He's an insider, and I asked him what's going on with the White Sox, and he said a lot of the players are not happy with the front office, how they're handling things inside the clubhouse, on the field, and everything. This is per Mike Rodriguez, not me speculating. This is someone who's an insider letting me know a month ago this has been going on. Another thing that fucking grinds my gears. The Yermin Mercedes thing. The kid's a fucking monster hitting home runs. And because he didn't do something right, Tony Russo benched him. And then he's been in obscurity. They just told Oscar Colas to cool it down. You're too amped up. The kid's a fucking rookie.
You need that energy in that
clubhouse.
clubhouse.
You need the fucking energy in the clubhouse.
What do you mean? What do you mean cool it down?
He's too amped up at the plate.
Well, what do you want to be, sluggish and slow?
Exactly. I don't understand because there's not a clear philosophy. There's not a clear direction. There's nothing that is fucking linear on what the team is going to do from front office all the way down to the fucking, I don't know, the ball boy. I don't know what's wrong with this organization, but it just needs to be fucking cleaned out.
Like you said, you're telling a rookie who's up there. Yeah, maybe you tell him, hey, is he doing terrible at the plate? See, like if he's having a terrible time at the plate, yeah, you're gonna tell him to slow down.
Right.
First of all, you're gonna be sending him down.
They already sent him down, and he came back up after raking.
Okay, see, there you go. So now you're telling a guy to do what works for him.
But also do bare minimum.
But don't do what works for him.
Wait.
So do the
This goes back to the Tony La Russa, don't run hard to first base.
Right.
I'm sorry, what? That is your fucking job to run hard to first base.
Exactly. So it's like,
we don't want you getting hurt.
Well, everyone's fucking hurt now. I get that, and it is frustrating. But it's like, think of it this way: like the Miami, everyone talks about Miami culture, right? For the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no culture.
But it's different. Eric Spoelstra was a fucking tape director.
Well, I'm not talking about that, but you hear this positive energy of going into a clubhouse and being welcomed and warmed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's been there since he was there from the ground up, and he moved in all the way from the bottom, being a tape guy, a video guy, now to being the head coach. He built that culture.
Right. I understand that, but I'm just saying that there's no built culture.
No, either you're with this culture or you're not.
Right.
And that's
it's the White Sox way and not the players' way.
That's why I wanted Bruce Bochy, because he would establish that. Ozzie Guillen, same thing, would establish that. He's a fucking hard ass. This is how you're going to fucking play. If you're not, get the fuck out. Carlos Lee, hey, you're not part of this fucking team. I don't like the way you're fucking playing. You may hit all the home runs you want. Give me Scott Pasendek. And they won the World Series once they made that trade. It really just building a culture and putting the right pieces in the right sections. You don't have that with Grafal.
Now, can I honestly say, when the season's over for all of baseball, do you think free agents want to go to be a White Sox?
Our biggest fucking signing was Andrew Benintendi for $75 million. We won't pay pitchers. We've never paid pitchers. That's why Giolito's leaving. That's why he's going to get traded, because he's going to priced out. They're not going to pay him.
They're trying to do this like rotational thing. Like the Cardinals did it for a while, successfully. I don't know how.
Yeah,
it's not working lately, but they're trying to do that same thing. But it just doesn't work when you're not recognized. They have a development problem with the Sox too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they can have good players, but it doesn't seem like these players are able to stick in the major leagues. Like Lou Bob having a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Eloy, Yoan's had his struggles.
Mm-hmm.
You had your struggles with Giolito. Those are three guys that are supposed to be major contributors on your team right now.
Giolito was like, I'm gonna put on more muscle.
Yeah. What's that gonna do for you?
Dude, it's like a boxer. You can't be a bodybuilder because you can't move. It's fucking just logical. And I'm like, why do you put on 30 pounds of muscle? Then you struggled. Now he went back down. Stay away.
Think about he wants to be what Michael Lorenzen for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yoked and stuff.
Right.
Like you're just gonna make yourself stiffer and a bad thrower. You know what I mean?
And you can cramp up easier.
It
just makes no sense. Yeah. But to your point, it's exactly that. There's been not much developmental for a very long time with the White Sox. It's simple as that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. We'll come back. We'll run down our top 5 crosstown moments.
I'll get your tissues.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15. TrueFan15. For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey, this is comedian Ken Garr, and I was just a guest on the True Chicago Sports Fans podcast with Big Earl and G-Money and a bunch of weirdos. So tune in.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast. Today we have a special segment for all the baseball fans out there. We're going to be discussing the top 5 moments of legendary crosstown series between the Cubs and the White Sox. Let's get started. Number 5.
I remember number 5.
Do you?
I do.
Of course. This has been played over and over and played out, so everybody knows this. It is 2006, the year after the White Sox win the World Series. A tightly contested game between the White Sox. A.J. Pierzynski collided with Cubs catcher Michael Barrett at home plate. The incident sparked a heated brawl between the teams, igniting a passionate rivalry between the teams all over again. Now, he's coming in from third. Barrett's blocking the plate, as he should, because he was allowed to do that at that point.
At that time, yes.
A.J. gave him a shoulder block, took him down. And then he slapped the plate. When he got up, he bumped him again because he was trying to get his helmet. Barrett took exception to the extra bump and punched him. I don't see a problem with either side.
I don't have an issue with anything that happened.
It's baseball.
That was baseball back then.
Back then,
I love that.
That was you were gonna get a fight. You were gonna get, and AJ knew what he did.
AJ's an agitator.
AJ's an agitator, and it didn't matter if Michael Barrett was a catcher as well. AJ was gonna do it, and the slapping of the plate is what I think. The slapping
was it the slap?
I think it was a slap more than it was a takeout. I think Michael Barrett could have taken a takeout, but like doing the slap.
He slapped and then he got up and he bumped him trying to get the helmet.
I think that was the issue. It's like that extra stuff kind of set Michael Barrett off. I think he would have been down. I mean, not obviously he wasn't happy with being ran through.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think he would have accepted that as that's baseball. And we move on, but AJ,
that's played every series, every crosstown series. That video is played, and it just gets everybody riled up.
It does. It makes me want to go crazy and put ketchup on every White Sox's white jerseys. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
God,
I wouldn't do that.
Ketchup is the devil.
You know who also? A little, just a side note.
Go ahead.
And we're going to talk about fights really quick. When Jose Bautista didn't get one of those hits when he got into a fight. for the bat swing.
Oh my God, for the bat flip.
I was just like, oh my God, dude, don't ruin our last name. Please, for the love of God, don't just get it licking. Just one. Don't go down like.
Hey, some of these guys think they can fight, and they just can't. They just can't.
We can, but he just didn't provide what I was looking for. And when he was a free agent, I wanted the Cubs to sign him because I don't grow an attachment. I grow an attachment to the players, but I don't get actual jerseys. I get my own name on there. But it would have been cool to have Batista on a jersey. Yeah. I'm just saying, and I would have loved that. But so. God, I still think about it at night. Go ahead, go. What's number 4?
Number 4, June 30th, 2006. Only a month after the infamous A.J. Barrett brawl, the White Sox are back on Cubs turf with another crosstown encounter. Down 6-5, 2 guys on base. A.J. Przinsky belted a go-ahead 3-run homer, launching the White Sox to their 13th victory in 15 games. You talk about payback, like having been amped up and wanted to put the nail in the coffin.
Right.
I mean, that's what you do, right? Someone hits you, a pitcher hits you, you get up there, I'm going to fucking hit a home run off you. I mean, that's what happens.
Right. I mean, that should be in the mentality of every baseball player.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like with the Braves and Mets rivalry. You know what I mean? Things like that. But, yeah. Sorry.
No comments on that one either.
No, not on that game.
I mean, it still hurts.
We don't like that one. All right, number 3. Moment takes us to 2008 when the White Sox and Carlos Quentin and the Cubs, Ryan Dempster, had an intense battle during an interleague big game. Quentin was hit by a pitch, and tensions quickly escalated. Both benches cleared, resulting in a memorable on-field altercation between the players. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter who is on what team. They understand that there's a rivalry between North and South.
I feel like recently it's gotten a little soft.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that.
And I'm all for it, but that's why when it comes to being soft, it's like I don't really care. Because in the
sounds like a personal problem.
Well, yeah, maybe, but in the long run, who has a better record and who's actually winning and who actually has a better franchise?
I'd rather be hard than soft.
Well, it seems like that whole franchise is soft the whole time. Brought to you by Blue Chew. If you have the chew, we have the motivation.
Hey, if they want to sponsor the podcast, I am all for that.
We're taking them right now. Go ahead. Go at number 3.
That was number 3.
Oh, was it?
Number 2, a historic moment in 2001 in a game that went to extra innings. Cubs Sammy Sosa hit his 500th home run against the White Sox.
But we still lost.
Yeah. Sosa joined the elite group of players, becoming the only 18th player in MLB history to achieve this milestone. It was a moonshot. I remember that. That was a moonshot.
How old were you?
Shut up.
I want to know.
2001? Shit.
Were you a little boy and like, oh my God.
No, I'd been, 20, 21?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't a boy. You were a young man.
I was a young man.
I got my first pube.
No, man. And I've always been a Sammy Sosa fan.
Yeah, he was great. He was with the White Sox first.
He was a Ranger, White Sox, and Cub, and then an Oriole.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on that one, Ivan? No Sammy Sosa memories?
I mean, I love Sammy Sosa. Like,
Are you still
before or after?
After the skin transition? Or
That's
after,
what I meant.
I don't recognize this Sammy Sosa.
I don't.
No one recognizes him.
I don't know who that man is.
He looks like Walter Mercado and shit.
The Sammy Sosa that I know. The Sammy Sosa that I know. Yeah, I mean, of course, the dude. I don't care about. I do care about the steroids. I'm glad the game is clean, but
the game needed it.
That was something that changed everything about baseball. It was exciting. Everybody was excited, and it wasn't just like Chicago and St. Louis with the home run.
It was
chase.
with San Francisco.
You had everybody around the country. Then Barry Bonds got in. You had some of the greatest players of our generation.
Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte,
Ken Griffey Jr. You had some of the greatest guys, and all they were doing were hitting mammoth moonshots.
Oh, God.
Every time I seen Sammy Sosa, it was, as a kid, it was something you were ready for, you were amped up for, you were cheering for Sammy, you wanted to see him hit the ball onto the street.
On Wayland or Grace.
You just wanted to see Sammy do well. So
you know what? I think it was the era, and I don't hold anything about that, them doing steroids at the time, because it also helped save baseball.
It did.
That's how I look at it.
After the strike.
It wasn't a problem until somebody made it an issue.
Right, because they didn't get the roids, and it wasn't working for them. You know?
You still have to have the baseball ability to hit a home run.
Right. It's not like I could just take roids right now and then tomorrow I'm going to be hitting home runs.
No, not at all.
But it will change a warning track fly out and turn it into a ball that goes 5-6 rows up in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
It could do that.
Yeah.
100%.
And my body will have tons of pimples.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Back pimples.
Right. And my
Small
manhood.
Nuts. Small nuts.
Yeah. That's why I think Barry was had a high pitch.
Wow.
You know? Hi, Barry Bonds. You know, I don't know. But I feel like all these highlights are all White Sox shitting on the Cubs. And it's
Sammy Sosa and Michael Barry. I gave you 2. It's 2-2.
Oh, okay. Well,
the Cubs lost both games.
Right, they lost, but they're just highlights. We don't want highlights. We want highlights and wins.
Okay, well, win? You guys won many games. We won many games. I think it's the series.
Many that aren't on this list.
Yeah, I'm just getting shitted on by you. We're getting shitted on, and we're enjoying the highlights.
It's almost like a backhanded. It's like a backhanded.
It's a compliment.
Well, next time guys can write this fucking list. I stayed up all day writing this shit.
You stayed up all day. You should be up all day.
Yeah, I usually nap during the day.
So do I.
What's number 1?
Finally, number 1 brings us 2008, when the first time the Cubs and Sox met as a first place team since interleague playing in 1997. Two first place teams met for a very tight ball game throughout. The White Sox holding a 1-run lead going into the bottom of the 9th inning. Ramirez stepped in to face the White Sox reliever Scott Limbrick and the runner on first. 1-0 count. Aram already went yard in the 7th and decided to send every Cubs home happy in the bottom of the 9th. So there's your other one.
Finally, we get number 1.
Aramis Ramirez, yes.
I miss him. He was a good player.
See, it's 3-2.
Okay.
Finally. Okay. I'm happy. Okay.
3-2. Yeah.
You're good.
See, yeah.
All right, well, that's good. I mean, finally, we could end on a good note for being number 1.
I figured I would do it that way because we do have 2 Cub fans on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ivan, I'm so glad you're a Cubs fan. That makes me happy.
All right, there you have it, folks. The top 5 moments of Chicago Cubs versus White Sox Crosstown series. From intense brawls to historic milestones, this rivalry provides us with unforgettable moments throughout the years. What's your favorite moment of this iconic matchup? Let us know. Hit us up on the DMs.
Slide in our DMs. We like it.
Yeah, slide into the DMs. Lube it up first, though. Make sure.
Need lube. I'm ready to go.
I bet you are, because you're always soft. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Still works.
We'll be right back with Stirring the Pot after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey, what's up? This is Lex Cruz from Jungle AE Recording Studios and Illinois Media School, and you are now listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z. We got Stevie-B and Ivan Vargas. What's up, fellas? We're still alive.
We're still here. We're still soft. We're so soft here.
Well, thank God nobody's hurt.
Yeah, thank God nobody's hurt.
I would hope not, but look at you.
Whatever excites you, brothers.
Whatever gets you going.
It's that time again, fellas.
Oh, it's stirring the pot time.
Yeah, it's time for Stirring the Pot. That's right. Well, we have another call that came in through the No Water on a Weekend podcast hotline.
And Sean just walked in right now.
Yeah,
because we're doing a marathon right now.
We are doing a marathon of 2 shows.
So,
but you know what? Let's listen to this call. Let's see if we can. We got it going. Here we go.
Actually, I was able to listen last night before I
begin
stuff for today. But yeah, let's check that out. Okay, so let's bring up this call here from.
Hey, thanks for
Hotline.
calling
Here we
Noah on the
go.
Weekend Hotline. Be sure to leave a message and take a shot, and we'll call you back.
Hey guys, this message is for Jose
This
again.
dude.
I just wanted to say, ha ha ha, very fucking funny that you can play my last message on your show, but you don't have the balls to call me back.
Wow,
You know what I'm saying? So here's the deal. I gotta get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't do this anymore. Okay? He's chained up in my basement, but he's made fucking pinball machines out of everything in my fucking house at this point. Okay? So here's the one time off. Okay, one time off. $150. Fucking forget it. Let's drop that shit down to I don't know, $75. Just 70. Just fucking call me, man. My number. Just please call me.
Are you gonna call him or what?
I don't have a job right now to spend an extra $75, so I'm probably not going to call him.
It was $150 and it went down to $75. So.
Yeah, that's still a lot of money for me.
And plus, if I win this bet,
Yeah, I'm going to be down a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to pay you first.
Yeah, of course, yes, I'm first.
Oh man! Usually we do a food segment for Stirring the Pot, but this phone call it's ongoing, and this guy keeps bothering me about Iraq. I don't know.
What do you mean bothering you? He keeps calling the hotline. and it's also funny because the fact that every time I call Z on Fridays, he sometimes doesn't answer.
Oh my God! Relax. That was that one time I was at the Sox game, man.
2 times, but I'm not counting.
I called you back the other time. You didn't answer.
I was busy in the bathroom.
All right, Whatchuuu.
Whatchuuu. Whatever you need to get you started. They'll always be happy.
Oh man, Ivan, it's been great to have you on. It's been nothing but laughs and a lot of shit talking, but we look forward to having you over and over on again. Please let us listeners what you're up to and all your socials.
Yeah, maybe like I said, you can find me at IvanV_TTNL on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it nowadays.
Yeah.
You can also just catch me on the network at The Tape Never Lies on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, like and subscribe. Check us out.
Beautiful.
I'm going to have to now.
You got to do it, dude. Bear season's right around the corner, so we're going to be starting up, and it's going to get pretty
when do you
intense pretty quick.
you go right after the Bears game?
We go right after, so we'll have Wednesday nights. We have Keeping It 100. Wednesday nights, 7:30. Sunday, right after the Bears game, we're going to have, it's right after the Bears game, but we also have for our patrons, we have a halftime breakdown. So if you want to become a patron, catch the halftime.
Quick turnaround.
But if you want to just catch the free content, right after the Bears game, Bears Hour Live, after every Bears game, we go ahead and we break it down, talk about what we saw, talk the good, the bad, the ugly, or if it's positive, we'll talk positively.
Yeah.
But
Positive vibes.
You know how it goes with the Bears sometimes. Sometimes you got to go ahead and let some frustration out.
Do you have snacks there?
Snacks where?
When you're, at the show?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I bring snacks to my computer all the time.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was like, well, E-Rock is tied up right now, so when we go over there to do his show, there was snacks. So if me and Big Z go over there, I'm just asking if there's snacks. That's all I'm asking for. If we do a live show, if you want to have us, or if you just want to have Z.
Would you like pita chips?
I'll eat anything that's free, man. So,
Whatchuuu, apparently.
If that's free too, I'll definitely take you up on those.
Walking around all stiff and shit.
No, but all jokes aside, I actually have a actual container of a box and a jar, or actually a jar, tons of Whatchuuu. I'll give you some before you leave. Awesome.
That's your to-go bag,
Yeah.
Little goodie bag. Yeah,
I'm alert.
I know what I'm going to do tonight.
Drink and drive, and take the Whatchuuu.
Look, Mom, no hands.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God.
All right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you for listening. A big thank you to our sponsor, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Get your shirts now. Check out the rest of the 606 Media lineup. You've heard it here first. The newest show on the 606 Media lineup is the No Water on the Weekend podcast with Steven and Sean, a pop culture forward podcast that dabbles in funny trivia, film, television, music, and Chicago-centric news and happenings. New episodes available every Monday. So now that this episode's almost over, you can listen to their episode.
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, it is. Shout out to Ronesh, Panic, Serious Beats, and custom made for the beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for your moment, merch, and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us at True Shy Fans on Twitter and on TikTok. You can find us on the Facebook, IG, and Spotify. And reach out to us on our email. We want to hear from you. Reach us at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. For Stevie-B, Ivan Vargas, this is Big Z. We'll see you next time for episode 154.
God damn, 154.
Yeah, that's right.
Since 148.
We're stacking them up. Until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
And go Cubs, go.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth, lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos. Show's over, show's over, show's over.